Masculinity is great. Masculinity is useful, is important, and even necessary. Competent masculine men are what are making this world function and succeed. Men occupying the most dangerous jobs, they take risks, they do all of this also for us women, for their families, and most men in society are good. The masculinity that I think is great is the masculinity preached by the Stoics, by Seneca, by Marcus Aurelius, the masculinity that respects the four tenets of Stoicism, which is temperance, moderation, humbleness, self-control, and virtue. So the masculine man is a virtuous man, is a man who is in control of himself, who is disciplined, who is humble, who is modest, who is not putting himself into materialism, who is not shallow, who is not greedy, who is not worried about owning things like cars, like women, like houses, who is not a follower of Andrew Tate and all the other Andrew Tates of this world. Who is not a follower of Pearl. First of all, why would a man even listen to a woman giving advice to men? Does it make even sense? Probably not. I am finally making this video because I am tired. I am tired of her and I'm tired of her lies. She knows nothing about nothing. And I'm sorry for my English.
You strongly believe that, right? That women who are past the age of 22, their value goes down, and all men just want young girls. So I guess what's the message behind this? What is it? Who are you speaking to, and what is it that?
I mean, it's just true. Men do want.
This is demonstrably false. The average age gap is 2 to 3 years. This is the same in the US and is the same also in the UK. I couldn't find much about my own country, but I can research more. Men are not looking to marry younger women specifically, which is fun, which is good, which is actually good, because it would be really weird. If you meet a man who is telling you that one of the reasons why he fell in love with you, really liked you it was because of your youth, run, my friend, run. That is a red flag, because it's one thing to fall in love with a woman who happens to be younger than you. It's another thing to specifically going searching for younger women. That is predatory. But thank God men are not doing this, because on average men are marrying women who are maybe a maximum 5 years younger than them, with of course the men being older. And women themselves are not looking to marry men who are older than 4 to 7 years than them. But the average age gap is 2 to 3 years. And also another thing that I wanted to, people may not know that the human brain is not fully developed up until age 25. That's the only thing I wanted to say.
Men, and your value on the sexual marketplace. So your value, like, that doesn't mean like your personal worth. I'd like to just...
It's really funny, because Pearl herself believes that our value as women is related to men. So it doesn't really matter what we think of ourselves. It's success, our personal skills, our accomplishment, our degrees, our job. Our value is related to what men think of us. So our look. So it's very funny her saying that, well, she's actually lying, because the value of a woman in our world is related to what men think of her.
What relevance does that have on the happiness of women then and now?
I mean, we're seeing them get more and more on.
This is the famous appeal to tradition fallacy, I believe. Depression has always existed, and so did anxiety. Since ancient Rome, we even have an example of an emperor who was depressed, according to the sources we have. His name was Tiberius. Depression has always existed. Mental health issues have always existed. People dealt with it in a different way. Suicide was one of them. I believe until the 1900s, at least in my country, oftentimes mental health was confused with spiritual issues. So people would call exorcists to deal with schizophrenia, to deal with depression also. So people used to think that was a spiritual thing. So oftentimes women were accused of being possessed, probably. Maybe they were dealing with real psychological issues.
More women.
Okay, do you think sleeping with multiple partners is good?
I think it's completely fine. I don't think there's an issue with women having
Do you think
multiple
it's?
partners.
Do you think?
No, I disagree. Promiscuity is not fun. It's not good, and it's not good for anybody. There are actually studies that you can find even online that have found a correlation between promiscuity and infidelity. So, like a man, especially with men, they found this correlation. A man who had a promiscuous past will be more likely to cheat because of the experiences he had, because he knows he can, because he has skill, he has developed skill to go and look for other women. So what kind of advice are we giving to pure women, virgin women, to go and give themselves to pigs who have no self-control, who are unreliable, who maybe even got STDs, who maybe got other women pregnant, who are unable to commit because of what they have done in the past?
Pornhub and looking up MILFs if they just want to, if they prefer, and this is the most searched. Wouldn't they be searching for like teen or something? 2018, yeah.
You know, men aren't that picky. You know what I mean?
No. It's not about picky. It's
an article I found 2021. MILF was still one of the most searched, together with lesbian and another category, where it was still one of the most searched porn category, and cougar was one of the most searched words. Another thing I would like to say that what they are actually saying that in that podcast is actually right. Men do find younger women between the age of 22, 23 years old the most attractive, but they're actually pursuing women closer to their age for relationships. Why? Because attraction and relationships are different things. I might find a person attractive, but I don't want to be in a relationship with that person. So this is really silly of Pearl to confuse those two things, because herself has that sex and relationships are different things.
Same wavelength, guys. All right, attention is to women as to sex is to men. So when I say cheating is different for men and for women, the equivalent, you know, when a woman cheats, I would argue it's more getting attention from men. And oftentimes, guys, they can kind of work through it. Like, I wouldn't say end of marriage because she flirted with a guy. I'm sorry, Red.
Both want both. Men want attention just as much as women do. It's funny how she's trying to change the definition of cheating. Why is she doing that? Cheating is still having sex with somebody else while you're married. It doesn't change with gender. It doesn't change. You should still divorce your wife or your husband. Divorce that person. It doesn't change anything. This is stuff that she's making up. Oh, well, if the woman is cheating while getting attention, so that's where you getting attention from other men, so that's when you should forgive her. Man is cheating when he's having sex with somebody else, and then where you should forgive. But if a woman has sex with somebody else, that is not even cheating. That is just terrible. You should just divorce her. It doesn't make sense. Everything is cheating. You flirt with somebody else, you're having sex or kissing somebody else, and divorce should still be the consequence.
It's gonna look. You see what I'm saying? So it's like we have these open Instagrams with selfies on them. We have these male friends around them, and you know, historically, you would have just gotten the attention from your...
It's just so funny whenever she says historically. She doesn't know anything about history. Women have always cheated, they've always went out of their marriage, seeked out other people while they were married, because oftentimes marriage was not about love. They weren't even choosing their own husband. So oftentimes they were the father, precisely what she wants, what she would like to have nowadays is father selecting the husband for the wife. That was for their daughters. That was something that was happening all the time throughout history, starting from ancient Rome through the Middle Age to the 1800s, and that's when women were cheating on their husbands because they didn't love them, they didn't even like them. So they were always getting attention from other people. Also, something else that she says is about virginity that is only important in men. Does she know that in ancient Rome, men were considered marriageable from the age of 14, while 13 was for the girls. Men were always expected to stay virgin until marriage. And also something that's very interesting, she considered herself Catholic. Obviously, she's not. But does she know about the church fathers? Does she know about Jerome or St. Augustine? They literally praised virginity in men. They thought that a man had to be virgin in order to be closer to God. Virginity is the ideal state for men, because they are abstain from carnal pleasure, and that gets them closer to God, which is something similar that Paul also said. Times It's better for a man not to get married and not to have sex. I wonder if she knows that. Do you guys think? I don't know. I think I am done with this thing, and I would like to know what you guys think of it. Spread the word. And Pearl, please open a book before you speak. Or maybe just don't speak at all.